Hi, it's Yash. There's no one exact formula for this spiritual awakening. There's not. There's so many different characters and temperaments and constitutions out on this planet and cultures and everything else. You can't just prescribe somebody like the recipe to awakening. Look how many, there's countless religions and spiritual practices and meditations and everything. Like, which one works? You know, you gotta just start trying stuff out. Our true path actually has already been downloaded. It has to just be revealed. But part of the deal is it doesn't get revealed until we keep trying all these different things that don't work, and then finally it's like it's revealed, like, here's your path that works. So it's like, God, why don't you send me that like first? Save me a lot of trouble. And God's like, it's all good, man. Like, your real spiritual nature, it's perfect. Like, it stays perfect. It doesn't even need the spiritual path. The spiritual path is for the mind and the ego. It's the game. It's the video game we're in, playing, trying to get back to ourselves. Self's right here. But but then the ego human construct, it's like it leaves itself. Self is still with it because this little thing couldn't exist without the self. It's like this how do you say, like, indefinite umbilical cord that's attached to the human construct self. So there's nowhere the self can go, the human self, without the real self. But this is the game. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. Like, you go through these mazes and labyrinths and everything, and then you come back to yourself. You're like, oh damn. Like, what happened? Did something happen? It's weird. And so the point is, like, something relaxes. At some point we realize, like, yeah, this is just a big game. It's Maya. You can call it the Leela of God, whatever word you want to use. But when we relax a little, more the better, with identifying so much with this human construct, we kind of let it just do its thing. You know, we don't curse it or pretend it's not real. See, that's another some more examples of spiritual nonsense. You know, some of the people, oh, nothing's real. It was just the one self. Yeah, but my mom just died, and I feel really bad. She's spirit, you're spirit. It's all good. People that talk like that. So there's a relative realness about this, because God's created the ultimate cosmic movie magic. This three-dimensional game is no joke. We have a nervous system and an emotional body and a mental body and glands, endocrine glands, and all that together makes this thing, the sensations appear so real that we feel. So we can't just dismiss it. That's not honest. But it doesn't mean that we totally believe it either. There's got to be some balance. Everything's balance, you know. And the more we recognize our true place, the consciousness in which this human video game is functioning in, the more we recognize that, the more space we give for the human self to do its little evolutionary thing. And it's enjoyable. And sometimes it's suffering. But when we're suffering, we remember, oh yeah, but there's space for that. This isn't going to last. The enjoyment doesn't last. The suffering doesn't last. The contentment from recognizing our true self that starts to embody the human self, that lasts. So even when there's pain and suffering, even when there's pleasure and joy, that's still happening inside our real self. The more that gets recognized, the more we just chill. It's like everything's okay, you know? Even when it's not okay. Maybe sometime we act also like, oh man, like we start to believe something and act like it's not okay. And somebody might say, wait a minute, but in the video you said everything's okay. You're being spiritual, but now you're not being spiritual. That's what I'll do. How's that for spirituality? Have a good day.